All right, people, what's happening? Welcome to this part of the video. Per usual, life is crazy. Life has been a little hectic. I don't even remember the last time I uploaded a video. I was doing good with getting the weekly uploads out, but I feel like it's been probably 2 or 3 weeks since the last one. So we're gonna do a little prep update. We're gonna talk to you guys about kind of where things are at, what's going on, what's to come, and just enlighten you of the status of prep right now. So as of recording, today is 3.5 weeks until the WNBF Pro Hercules, which is the second show for this season and my first WNBF Pro show. So really excited about that. I'm excited to hit the pro stage and kind of see where I, stack up against that level of competition. Obviously, it's kind of like, a few people have coined it like playing bodybuilding on hard mode when you jump in with the pros, because assuming someone's a pro, that often means they're a very good athlete, right? Obviously, there's instances when people do earn a pro card and maybe they're not pro caliber, but if we assume that those I'll be competing against are of pro caliber, then we're going to be in for a dog fight up there, which is good. And the pros is open. There's no weight class, so you just kind of get in there and mix it up and see where you land. So also I am competing alongside Calvin again, since he got his pro card at the WNBF Kelowna show 2 weeks ago now. He's gonna make the pro debut alongside me, which is gonna be really cool. So that'll be his final show of the season, and we get to duke it out up there together, which will be a lot of fun, and I'm excited about that. So currently in the 156s, so down, pretty much 4 pounds from my first show, that early qualifier I did at the end of April. So, basically 4 weeks later, 4 pounds down, give or take. My body's been stubborn. It's been a battle to get here. We are, officially, just under 2,000 calories now. Carbs are around 140 grams a day, which I pretty much position all of my carbs intra and post workout. So literally from, basically 11:30 a.m. onwards, I don't really have carbs besides like the trace amount in vegetables, which, let's be honest, it doesn't really count. So some days are a battle. But to be fair, I feel good. I was definitely going through some mental hurdles, kind of the last week or two before this week. And, I'll talk about those probably after the show, to be honest. It's not a headspace I want to get in anytime soon. And, when the dust is settled, we'll kind of talk about the challenges I was facing and, what brought them on, and, where my head was at with regards to everything. But, we're over it now. We're moving forward. We're focused. I'm excited. I'm ready to, finish the season strong. So we got 3.5 weeks till this show and 9.5 till the final show. So, I'm really just looking forward to the WNBF one, just kind of checking each day off, each week off as it comes, and then, have fun at that show, get a little celebratory meal with my wife, probably with Calvin as well, and then, it's 6 weeks till that final stretch, right? So just keeping the next 3.5 weeks at the forefront of my mind, and then the last 6 when it comes. So, chatting with Cliff, he's happy with where things are at. We're pushing pretty hard the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and then it sounds like we're going to do a little bit of a refeed, a couple days of higher food ahead of peak week, and then we'll go into peak week fresh, ready to deplete as needed, and then load up into the show. My lower body is coming together. My upper body's pretty much, pretty dialed in, I would say, for the most part. Maybe across my upper body, maybe there's a pound and a half, maybe, just to get those last details in some areas, like my lats, lower back, that kind of stuff. A little bit of lower abs. But it's my quads, interestingly enough, that are last to come in for me compared to the rest of my body. A lot of people, it's kind of the other side of their lower half, where it's hamstrings and glutes. Mine seem to be like hamstrings, glutes start to really poke through, but my quads seem to be a bit later to the party. So I'm seeing the progress come, and I know, as we continue to dig down, I'm projected probably going to touch 155 either the final half of this week or post refeed. I been seeing like that flush again after a refeed day where my body gets that extra hit of fuel and flushes out some water and some inflammation and stuff. So potentially Saturday, Sunday we should see that 155 come up, which would be good. When I train legs, they look epic, like vascularity wise, detail, cuts, striations, all that good stuff. So I know it's on its way, right? So we just gotta, as the old saying goes, right, trust the process, keep doing keep ticking the boxes each day, and then the look will come. What else can I touch on? Business is good. Coaching is busier than ever, which is keeping me, occupied, right? I think if I was just like home all day and doing nothing and twiddling my thumbs, like, even if I didn't have like my quote unquote day job, right? I think I would struggle more during the day just being home and, waiting for that next meal and watching the clock and, letting boredom and that kind of stuff get away from me. Mind you, I wouldn't mind a power nap in the afternoon sometimes, but that's okay. So yeah, I generally feel good this week as a whole, which is nice, because a week or so ago I probably couldn't have said that. But that's part of prep, guys. You're going to go through those periods of highs and lows, and as you get closer to the show, the lows sometimes hit hard, and the highs become a little bit more sparse, and it can get very challenging. And as someone who takes a lot of pride in being a very present and an ability to give effort husband and father, it's tricky when you feel like you can't always do that, just from like a purely like fatigue standpoint. You're like, oh man, I can't even think right now, much less like run around with a baby and all that kind of stuff. But you show up, you do it, you create systems that make it easier, and you just do your best, right? And that's something that I've kind of been working on reminding myself of, is that I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best with all areas right now, and even if for me my best isn't what I feel like it could be for the phase I'm in and the period I'm in right now, I know my best is being given, and thankfully I have a very kind and supportive wife and understanding, and we've had a lot of good productive conversations about getting through this last stretch of prep, and what I need from her and what she needs from me, and finding systems that work and that kind of stuff. And it's super important with a relationship that you guys have that open line of communication and that understanding, because it's not always easy. It's not easy on your partner to have to sacrifice areas of their lives because of decisions you're making, and they have potentially more on their plate than they would normally, even if their plate is already very full, and because of the things that you're doing, that plate for them gets even more loaded, and that's hard on them, right? And it's easy to think that because you're in prep or because you're competing that everything else in life goes on hold, and that's just not how it works, right? Like your home life doesn't go on hold, your social life to some degree doesn't go on hold. You work, right? You can't just piss off your work and not do what you need to do, right? Bills don't stop just because you're prepping, and you've got to really be able to handle that. And like I said, do your best and keep those things moving forward, right? Even if your other areas of life are on a maintenance period or moving forward at a small pace, or just getting the attention they need to not go under, right? Like you're not just, all right, I'm not working for the next 6 months because I'm on prep, and all of a sudden the bills pile up. Like you're still making sure everything's accounted for, or whatever the case may be. You're making sure that stuff's attended to, and then some of your other bandwidth is going to prep, it's going to cardio or meal prep or whatever, right? So, it's important to just keep that frame of mind. Like, this is a decision I'm making. These are choices I'm making. And yes, they're going to impact areas of my life, but the idea is to not let them pull more than necessary, right? Because then that's when you see people come out of prep and their relationship is, in the shits, or worse, like the relationship's not there anymore, or, they've lost opportunities at work or gotten fired from work. I've heard about people getting fired from work because they're not showing up or doing what needs to be done. And you just can't let that happen, right? Like, coaches, right? They lose clients on prep because they don't give their fullest efforts with their clients, and they're not checking in on time, or they're not checking in when needed. Like, prep can take away a lot, but that's if you let it, right? You have to be able to compartmentalize things and say, okay, I'm prepping. This is what I still need to accomplish each and every day. Even if it's maybe not a full list of things I would want to do, I'm still getting the big stuff checked off to the best of my ability. And that's ultimately what matters. And that's what's going to get you not only through prep, but to the other side of prep in a position that your life's not in shambles, right? Which is, at the end of the day, we don't want to sacrifice the biggest things in life for a plastic trophy and some congratulations on social media. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to close the video out here because we are ready to go to work. The day begins. I appreciate the support on the YouTube channel. I appreciate the support throughout my prep. It means a lot. A lot of the comments you guys give me fuels me more than you know, and no shortage of thank you and appreciation on my end. So I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Subscribe, all the good stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one.